was a simpler time for VR. It felt unique and unlike anything before. But that was 6 years ago. Now fast forward to today and we have Gorn 2, but does it still scratch that itch in the same way that Gorn did back in 2019? I'll be going over what the game offers to help you decide if it's one for you. Now, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please consider doing so. It supports the channel a lot, and seeing as you're already here, please watch the video to the end, as again, that really helps. Also, why not leave a comment and a like? So without further ado, let's jump into Gorn 2. For anyone that doesn't know what Gorn is, it came out originally on Windows in 2019, but later got ported to PSVR2 in 2020, and then again in 2021 to Quest. Sure, it also got a PS5 upgrade, but people tend not to talk about that one due to some bad decisions made with that port. But I digress. Gorn was developed by Free Lives and published by Devolver Digital. It places you in an arena as a gladiator where you must take out various opponents in the most brutal ways. You can use various weapons at your disposal, and it led to some wacky VR moments and overall was great fun. Now, if you've seen Gorn 2, you're probably wondering what is different, and well, nothing really apart from the developers. Gorn 2 was developed by Cortopia with the assistance of Free Lives, but still published by Devolver. At its heart, the gameplay is the same, but it has more hazards in the arena. These can be from spiky tentacles or swinging traps. These can be used to dispose of the enemies, or if you're not careful, they can hit you. Each arena has different settings and a boss, which means each arena will have different traps, weapons, and environmental traps. At the end of each battle, you unlock various weapons and gain points. You're going to need those points to progress in the game, so sometimes you'll have to take on 2 arenas at once. For anyone who hasn't played Gorn, then the video clip should pretty much paint a picture, a bloody, gory, brutal picture. But nevertheless, I'll talk you through it. You arrive into the arena, but if it's your first time in that arena, you'll walk down a corridor which adds to the setting quite nicely. When inside the arena, you'll go through various stages of eliminating enemies. For this, you can use your fist, weapons, the environment, and enemy's arm. If you can pick it up, you can likely hit them with it. You can also daze enemies and rip their heads off if that's more your style. The gameplay is very wacky and silly and works well as an exercise game, as there is a lot of movement, especially if you choose the old Gorn style movement which requires you to move your arms a lot. But I'm not a fan. Each arena has 3 levels with stages inside. On the final level, you will face that arena specific boss, which is quite fun and changes the pace slightly. Overall, the gameplay is fun. Now for the graphics, they look very clean and are quite sharp. However, there is reprojection, and this can be noticed when standing still and rotating. This also makes the hand shake slightly. That being said, if you're not bothered by reprojection or have worked up the superpower to ignore it, then you'll be absolutely fine. It's also worth mentioning that if you don't like gore, then you can turn this off. The game functions well with no frame drops, and I didn't experience any crashes. As for haptics, I'd say this game is lacking. There is definitely vibrations in the Sense controllers, but they're so faint I thought my controllers were broke. So I actually got out my spare set to see if the haptics were stronger, but they weren't, so personally I want them to patch that to improve them. As for the settings, you have smooth and snap turning plus 2 styles of movement, which is analog and gesture based. As for playing the game seated, this time I didn't try it, as Gorn is a game I find quite physical and it's not one I'd play seated. However, the PlayStation Store does state it can be played seated. Now for what I didn't like. As with all physics-based games, they come with jank, and sadly Gorn 2 has a bit of this. From weapons having minds of their own, the bow sometimes not working, and even some environmental commands not being great. And even the head not going on the spike all the time to start the level. Now I know Gorn's weapons are meant to be rubbery, so that's not what I'm concerned about here. Now none of these affected the game or my enjoyment, and I'd say that's pretty much my only dislike from the game's setting. That being said, what is a shame is the fact a game like this runs reprojected, and the fact the haptics aren't as good as they should be. There should be head haptics when you get hit, the controller should pulsate when you're near the end of life, but none of this happens. Instead you get very mild vibration on contact, and it's disappointing. The game is fun but highly repetitive. Lastly, for all the trophy hunters out there, this game does have a platinum. Overall, Gorn 2 is great fun. It takes everything great about Gorn and just adds more. It doesn't set up to reinvent itself, but instead tries its best to expand upon Gorn, and it does this very well. The game features the same mechanics that we all come to enjoy, but adds more to really up the game's value. It's still equally as bonkers and brutal, and if you liked Gorn, then you'll enjoy this. So, should you get this game? Yes, if you want a wacky arena hack and slash game, then you'll have some fun here. However, if physics-based combat games aren't your thing, then I'd say avoid this one. This concludes my review for Gorn 2. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to stick around. I cover PSVR2, Quest and PC VR, so I'm sure you'll find something that interests you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.